Would we buy this or are we buying this currently? I'll start this one off. Not now. It's not a screaming buy for me now. There are a lot of other projects that are clearly undervalued that we've covered a lot of them already. And so just going to keep building the bag on those. But moving forward, as I said earlier, if they could find a way to implement simplicity within their marketing strategy, because that's really what it comes down to. You can't just be like, oh yeah, we got some ZKPs and a bunch of technical other shit, like a bunch of other technical shit. That's just going to either put people in a paralysis state or it's just going to turn them away. And so if they can find a way to simplify their marketing moving forward, I can see it gaining way more adoption other than just the developer community, because that's pretty much what it is now. And it's pretty much investors who understand the developer community. That's pretty much the entire ecosystem at this point. And so I think that's their biggest challenge moving forward, is to simplify their marketing. Once that happens, yeah, I think it'd be more of a buy. Right now, it's hard to tell if it's over or undervalued. I'm going to go with over at this point, just because of how much has been bridged from their layer 1 to the layer 2, rendering the layer 1 kind of a little murky.
Yep, and for me, guys, I kind of will echo the
He
same
bought it.
sentiment.
He already bought it.
I'll kind of echo the same sentiment, not right now. So the reason why, pretty much every reason he said, in addition to that, I don't like the tokenomics. I would rather invest into a project that maybe is not as good, short term, that is, that's maybe not as good, that has better tokenomics. Because a rising tide raises all ships. And I like to call, you have Bitcoin maxis, ETH maxis. I'm a profit maxi. I don't give a damn. You know, I used to get romantic about protocols, like, oh, they're about to be decentralized.
He fucked one. So, no, I'm sorry. No.
But yeah, you know, I used to get really romantic about the projects, but that made me lose a lot of money. Unless you're on the team or you got tokens vested or you're a founder, Guys, get your money, take your profits, and get the fuck out of there. All right? So I don't like the tokenomics. It's better projects with better risk to reward ratios, not even just from a tokenomics perspective, but, you know, more overvalued. Like we talk about Pendle. They have a TVL that's much higher than the market cap, versus that being upside down. Even though, you know, they have the Atlantic and Pacific shit, the oceans connect. Even in the real world, so does these, right? So my trading strategy is I have my main projects that I'm looking at, that I'm accumulating. As we get into the altcoin cycle, like to the, you know, as we really start to get into the altcoin cycle, as those bags pump and my take profit levels are reached, I have multiple tiers under my main bags that I'll look to cycle profits into, and Manta is under my tier 1. So if I make some money with my other bags and I'm looking to cycle into something and I like the price action, you know, maybe some of the fundamentals are a little better by then, maybe, you know, the TVL starting to rise a little bit with the rest of DeFi, I might ape in a little bit. But for right now, I'm out too. But hey, Manta guys, Manta founders, I love what you guys are doing. Nothing but respect. I can tell that you guys are working hard and you guys are shipping. I can't say that about a lot of protocols. So this is not a video throwing shade. I do love what you guys are doing. It's just that I have a belief in the price action appreciation of other projects versus this one right now.
And I don't care what you say, guys. Markets.
He really doesn't give a fuck. I say stuff to him all the time. He's just like, shut the fuck up. Say no.
Markets move. They rely on narratives, pretty much. You can find a narrative in any market movement. Hence, the AI narrative that we've seen and the price action that we've seen corresponding with NVIDIA and other projects or other companies that just put .ai at the end of their name, kind of like the .com boom, for example. I don't think it's time in terms of the ZK narrative or the roll-up narrative to gain a ton of traction. I still think we're still in the early phase of that. I still truly believe the next big narrative is RWA, and we'll see if something else pops up after that. But roll-ups, ZKPs versus optimistic, I think that's going to be the next narrative. And so, by following the strategy he just laid out, that will allow you to capture both narratives, which corresponds or with corresponding price action that you actually want, which is to the upside. because you want to make that cash. You feel me?
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that one more thing, he said he thinks the RWA narrative is going to happen first. I think it will too, just because of what BlackRock's doing and all the things that's been happening. And I mean, you can look at it; it's already kind of started. While you have like the top L2s like Arbitrum and Optimism, they aren't appreciating as much. But I already have my L2 bags filled up. I talked about Optimism, I've talked about Arbitrum, I've talked about Polygon, I've talked about Blast. Follow my personal channel, Crypto Noah, to watch those videos. Those pump, and Manta hasn't pumped yet. I'll probably take some of those profits and put it into it, but I doubt that it'll happen like that. It'll probably come from my RWA bag or another sector, my layer 1 bag, because normally if one L2 pumps or multiple L2s pump, all of them are probably going to pump, especially because Manta's only number 7.
Shit, it may come from the degenerate meme bag, but we shall see.
Hey, more videos on meme coins coming soon. Subscribe to Crypto Noah. Subscribe to J Mansion. I'm going to take us out here. If you got value from this video, drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. Let us know what L2 you want us to cover next, what RWA project you want us to cover next, what project you want us to cover next. In general, constructive criticism is always welcome in the comments. But with that, we thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll see y'all in the next one.
Like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Tell your mama. She gonna be like, hey, baby, who these young whippersnappers?